end. Eliminated for a second consecutive year by the reigning champion Denver Nuggets. We'll bring you live to the podium for updates. LeBron James gets there. If he has anything to say about what's next. Tim Legler's next with us to discuss a high level, at least in terms of the intensity, playoff game. We picked this up in the fourth quarter. Last dozen minutes are where the games come down to it, whether it's regular season or the playoffs, but this one meant everything to the road team because they had to win to stay alive. LeBron James, bucket there. Lakers lead by 2. It's a 2-point game. Jamal Murray, questionable because of a calf issue, but he was monstrous in this game. Off the rebound, the kick out, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Nuggets lead by 1. We're tied at 95. The big fella, Jokic, goes to work down the lane, and Murray present, drops the hammer. Is that LeBron I got? Yeah, he's stunting on everybody on the other end. Austin Reeves gets a very friendly roll. This game is tied at 97. On the other end, Murray again. Down the lane with a finger roll. Back in front goes Denver. We're now at about 2.5. Jokic flipping the lane. Denver back in front by 2. On the other end, Reeves. Give me all 3 of these. And the Lakers, with about 2 to go, have a 1-point lead. Not for long. On the other side, it's Jokic gathering a putback. Denver retakes the lead by 1. LeBron James down the lane with a left hand. Will not go quietly into the night. Off the rebound on the other end, Gordon. Murray, big time bucket for 3. Nuggets back in front by 2. He holds the pose, but this game's not done. After a couple of free throws, tie it by LeBron James. It's Murray. Reeves kind of stumbled a little bit. Murray gets a clean look. Lakers out of timeouts. LeBron trying to pull off a miracle. And that shot, I believe it was Prince, who was after the gun anyway. And that's the way this game ends. Just a furious fight in the last 4 minutes. Murray, a tremendous game. Spectacular when it mattered most in the fourth. The second game in this series where he has hit the last second shot that was the difference as Denver wins again over LA in the playoffs. It's a 4-1 Denver win, and it's another enormous night for Jokic. 25, 20, and 5. Steve, guess who's on the list?
Well,
that's right. He posts his 5th career playoff game with at least 25, 20, and 5. Tied for the 4th most any player in postseason history behind only 3 Hall of Fame legends. Jamal Murray, spectacular during the game. These thoughts afterwards.
Well, Jamal, congratulations. You already had an iconic buzzer beater in this series, so much so that you told our studio crew you were lightheaded in the moment. Were you getting flashbacks of that as the clock was winding down?
This one's a little better. I was speechless, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a dream come true. You know, all these fans on your side and to get it done in this fashion, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what to say. I'm just happy for us.
Well, it was great to see you out there and healthy. You were questionable with the calf strain. I know Coach was second guessing whether or not he wanted to risk further injury, but you had the will to come out here. What led to your decision to give it a go today?
I didn't want to sit. You know, I think the training staff, they're just really cautious with it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want it to get worse. And I was like, I'm not gonna leave my brothers out there. I got a little emotional in the back because I was like, I'm not sitting. I don't care what it is. We got to figure out. And I'm just thankful that they let me play, and I was able to get this opportunity to actually put that ball in the hoop.
You were injured, KCP got injured, and it took a while to get Nikola going. How did the team overcome all of that tonight?
I mean, everybody down the line. Michael Porter, Aaron Gordon, Reggie Jackson. You know what I'm saying? I could go down the line. Our rookies just had positive energy the whole time. So, like I said, it's a team game. Even when you have 1 or 2 guys struggling, that's why I need everybody.
Well, now you have multiple days to rest, so heal up, and we'll see you in the next round, Jamal. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
The playoffs will continue for the reigning champion Denver Nuggets, and they take on Minnesota in what will be an absolutely tremendous and intriguing series. We have time to sort that out. Let's focus on what just happened here as Tim Legler is with us in studio. Tip of the cap to Murray. Calf injuries are tricky, man.
Yeah.
A dozen of his 32 in the fourth, and again, it's a bucket that is the difference in this game. Let's start with the shot making down the stretch and just the clutch buckets that were made on both sides. Ultimately, it's Murray who's really become a star they can count on when it matters most. What has he and what have Denver become?
He's such a weapon to have as a counter to Jokic and what you're dealing with and your whole game plan and trying to deal with that and what Jokic does to you as a scorer and as a facilitator. So to have that other guy that in any kind of space, particularly when Scott, when these important moments, Jamal Murray's just different than most guys. The way that he is able to slow things down to get what he wants in those moments and make very difficult shots look pretty simple. He's clearly comfortable in that situation. I love the action he ran at the end of the game. I think that's the most difficult two-man game in basketball when you bring Murray off Jokic to the middle with an empty side. So Jokic is the only guy left on that side. Man, does that create difficult decisions for Anthony Davis and what to do. If you overcommit to Murray, it's going back to Jokic for a short little 18-foot jumper. If you lay back, Murray gets a pull-up jump shot.
And Reeves stumbled just a little bit there on that screen, and I mean, and I'm watching it in real time. I was trying to host a show as the game was happening, so I might have misread it, but I believe you saw a slight stumble from Reeves trying to get through.
Nikola Jokic does like a swim move to Anthony Davis at the very start of it because Davis is jamming him up. And Jokic knows he needs to get some separation from AD to go set that screen so that Murray has room coming off. Because if AD is right on Jokic's hip when that screen is set, that looks completely different to Jamal Murray. But Jokic does this like almost like a football move to walk AD in, push him a little bit, get that 5-6 feet of separation before he goes to screen. And as a result, when Murray comes off, AD is back in the lane. It's just those little things that mean so much to the execution of the play that Jokic understood before he went over to set that screen. I've got to create a gap so Jamal Murray has more space coming off so he can make a proper read.
All right, we have more time to talk with Tim. In the meantime, let's hear the thoughts of Darvin Ham as the Lakers season comes to an end. 4-1 to Denver.
It's tough. It's tough, man. You know, some unfortunate circumstances. A, getting hurt, you know, not having to leave the game per se, but just threw off his natural rotations, normal rotation. They make that run. You know, we've already challenged the call early in the game. We're trying to hang on the timeouts just in case we need to challenge again. We may have an extra. And, you know, it's one of those games, man. It's a hell of a team. The defending champs for a reason. I've been saying it the entire year, the entire series. They know how to gut out wins. They've been there before. But I couldn't be more proud of our crew. Despite everything that happened, obviously the series didn't go in our favor. Didn't start out the way we wanted it to. But to win that one at home, fight tooth and nail to try to get this one, our guys showed a lot of guts, a lot of character, and their resilience to continue to fight. But, you know, the intangibles, they got us again. You know, we missed some free throws, gave up some second chance points late. It is what it is. We just got to learn from it, grow from it, be better mentally, spiritually, and physically.
How do you square this last year and change, you know, where you make the push out of the All-Star break, you get to the conference finals, of course, lose to Denver, then this year, up and down, but you make the push late, and then to have it kind of end in similar fashion like this? How do you put all that together?
It's tough, man. You know, the completion of my second year in this seat, it's a lot, you know, just from the way the year started last year to us getting to the deadline, making the moves we made, trying to make a push on the fly, which we were able to do. Fell short to the champs, same team. You know, try to maintain our core, some continuity in the summer, which we were able to do, and then, you know, the injury bug hit us, and it just seemed like it wouldn't get off of us there for the first third, maybe half of the season. And, you know, once we start hitting rhythms, it seemed like every time we hit a rhythm, a key piece would fall out of the lineup. But it is what it is, man. I'm not going to feel sorry for myself or ourselves. It's an unbelievable franchise to represent. couldn't ask for a better governor, a better president of ops than Rob Pelinka, Jeannie Buss. But I've seen a lot in my first 2 years in this seat. So I'll continue to work, get better, and control what I can control.
Lakers season comes to an end. Michael Malone and Denver move on. Malone's thoughts after the 2-point win over LA.
That last shot was going in.
The utmost confidence. That's why I didn't call a timeout. Let the best two-man game in the business play their game and get to their spots. And for Jamal to add to his playoff lore by having 2 game winners in a series is just incredible. And the conversation before the game, without getting into too much detail, was an emotional one about him playing tonight. And as he just told me, he goes, "I'm glad I played because I don't know if we win if I don't play tonight." I said, "Well, that's the understatement of the year." The kid's a warrior, man. I can't say enough good things about Jamal Murray. The bigger the moment, the kid just continues to shine, and I'm proud of him. One tough cookie. And I tell you, Nikola, 25, 20, and 9. And the most amazing stat was he was 0 of 0. He didn't miss a free throw tonight. And Michael Porter's offense throughout this series was incredible. His efficiency, 26 points, 5 of 7 from 3. Michael had timely offense. Aaron, 13 boards. And I thought Reggie gave us good minutes off the bench. I would be remiss. I think Darvin Ham is a hell of a coach. And that's not an easy job. And I think Darvin does it with class. And I think he and his staff deserve credit for that. He's a good man, good coach, and I wish him all the best. And hopefully he'll be around there for a long time because he deserves to be. And a credit to their team. They're not an easy out. LeBron James is arguably the greatest player of all time. Anthony Davis is a Hall of Famer. And they gave us all we could handle. We did not want to get on that plane going back to L.A. And so now we can, try to get ready for Saturday against a beast in Minnesota. But I got to give the Lakers a lot of credit, man. That was a hard-fought series, a lot harder than that 4-1 final score would indicate, because we had to scrap for every game that we won in this series.
Who initiated that conversation? You or Jamal pregame?
It was mutual. It was something that we knew we had to, along with Steve Short, get on the same page with about, what is in not only Jamal Murray's best interest and the team's best interest. And he was able to play, he was able to win the game, and he didn't get hurt. So it was a great night all the way around.
It's a class dude right there.
Man.
Class dude.
Knew his father well, too. Same. Comes from good cloth, man.
Without question. For Murray to not just play, but to play as impactfully as he did is remarkable. Coach Malone mentioned Michael Porter Jr., and both you and I looked at each other like we'd be remiss not to mention the shot making that he made. And I think about what this team does. Their ability to make difficult shots feels like that's the differentiator perhaps between them and any other team in the league at this point. Am I overstating that in your opinion?
You're not overstating it at all, and there's 2 other elements I think that come with it. I think the decision-making that they make in cloudy environments, right? The fog of war type situations. They make great reads and great decisions. The ball ends up where it's supposed to. And then the winning plays, in addition to the shot making, which everybody can see. But, Aaron Gordon running down that offensive rebound.
Right.
Where he came from to get that ball is a winning play. Jokic had one before that on a putback. All the things that Michael Malone was addressing, he goes down each guy in his roster talking about their contributions. Everybody's in a certain lane. It all adds up to one thing, winning. And they know how to win these games better than any team in the league.
Yeah, and you made the great point that Michael Malone just mentioned, the best 2-man game in the league, and then you've got Porter floating around. Off of that, Murray's got that action, that option to find a guy. I don't know how many threes Porter hit. I don't have the box in front of me, but it was a bunch of big-time shots. This game had a weird lack of energy and push from Denver, and then it turns into Hagler-Hearns round 1 in the last 5 minutes, which is what you'd expect to put LeBron and the Lakers out. And now all the questions about what's next, and we don't have those answers, but I wonder what you saw out of them in defeat in not just this series, but really in a bunch of these games, because it took Murray's heroics twice to win games for Denver.
Yeah, and I kind of felt this way going in, the way the Lakers looked at the end of the year. This was the one team probably the Lakers couldn't end up with, right?
Denver?
Yes.
Right.
I think the Lakers could have battled any team in the Western Conference. This is the one team that you did not want to see.
Mm-hmm.
I think what Denver showed me more than anything is I didn't think they were particularly good tonight for the first 2.5 quarters. I thought they were playing too slow. They looked kind of like they were worn down. There was no environment in the building because they were waiting for some sort of a run to give them some juice. They finally did that, took a 7-point lead. Lakers came back, erased it, and then, like you said, it was just one big possession after another, and ultimately the Nuggets just made a couple more plays than the Lakers were able to because they're so used to making those plays. They're so certain of the outcome when they get into those situations, more so than anybody else. So it could be anybody. Just so happened it was Murray twice in this series.
And that's what makes, I think, this next series so entertaining because what we've seen out of Ant, and Anthony Edwards, obviously, when he was on me the end of the night, basically, like, obviously, but like he said, I just want to kill everything in front of me. And then I tried to ask him about getting the next one. He's like, look, I've never done it. I don't know. I wouldn't know. Well, now they know. And now the obstacle in front of them is real, but the obstacle in front of Denver is real too. I think it's fascinating, just as a quick thought of what that offers in the next round.
This is going to be this. I think when it's all said and done, no matter what happens beyond this, this will be the best series of the entire NBA playoffs.
And this man right here is not prone to hyperbole. No, you know that. So you're saying this next series. Yeah. Forget all the rest of this. You're telling me right now, Denver, Minnesota.
Yeah, and I don't want to be anticlimactic for whatever happens beyond and what the finals look like or anything else. I'm just talking about this particular matchup. The size Denver can throw at Jokic and Denver's front line, the length and athleticism, the commitment to multiple efforts defensively that Minnesota gives you, unlike any other team in the league. It takes that to guard this offense. Minnesota's more equipped to do it than any other team in the league, and they also have now a guy that has ascended to a place where now there is nothing that is in front of Anthony Edwards that he can't manage. He's got a counter now for what he sees defensively, even when you play him perfectly well because he's making mid-range jumpers. He's making deep shots. He's getting to the rim. He's guarding people. He's making great decisions. He's leading. The ascension I've seen over the last 2 to 3 months in Anthony Edwards is incredible. So you add it all up, it's a perfect storm. This is going to be an incredible second-round playoff series.
I agree, and the thing that everyone keeps saying about Edwards is just so terrifying for the rest of the league. He's 22 years old.
That's right.
And already leader of men. Like everyone's deferring to him, a young man. He's a leader of men, and it's going to be fascinating to see. Minnesota moves on a sweep, and Denver knocks off the Lakers in a 4-1 5-game series.